Now I know I'm not this guy, but I'll have to do. A great Sekiro / Soul streamer once posed the question, what if we took a game that's all about the clashing of swords and just made it about running these hands? He absolutely killed it in his video on it, but I couldn't help but wonder, what if we went further? What if we decided to kill all the main bosses, Shura and Father included, as well as all the prayer bead bosses with no sword? And when I say no sword, I mean no attacks, no blocks, no deflects, no lightning redirects, no sword arts, no mortal draw, no anti-air death blow, no stealth death blow, and no prosthetic follow-ups. Basically just using prosthetics, items, jumping on people's heads, and these Senpu combat arts. We have immortality to suffer, and sadly Wolf is about as uncoordinated with a sword as they come. But fortunately, there are other more painful methods to get it done.
Everyone's the same.
So we boot up the game and use the homeward idol immediately to get a full health bar. Mosey on over to Best Boy Kuro and proceed as usual. When the talking is over, head upstairs for a pellet, run past everyone here including Leader Shiniguri. He isn't a prayer bead boss, so we're going to be skipping him. Unless, of course, you would like to practice jumping on his head for 20 minutes, be my guest. Climb the bridge and head to your left for another pellet, call the Divine Air, and proceed as usual. Now that you're a couple pounds lighter and you have your new tool of constant frustration, head out and around back to grab a coin purse. A rule I won't be repeating is this: take everything that isn't nailed down. In a run where we deprive ourselves of 80% of Sekiro's combat mechanics, we need everything we can get. I'll only be mentioning the important stuff we need to grab. Proceed along the path and find your first enemy, and immediately see why we should be avoiding combat for this first stretch of the game. Continue along, looting as you go, head inside the building in front of the general for the shuriken wheel, the first prosthetic of the run. You can head back to fit it or continue, it doesn't really matter right now. If you've chosen to continue, just drop down to the left and grab the hidden Jizo statue down here. I never needed it, but you might at some point. Homeward bone back to the idol and just ignore the general for now. Mosey on around the enemies and into the old lady's house. Grab the bell to get into Harada and dash through these boxes on the ground to get 3 more coin purses. Head back to the temple and go into Harada. Swim over to the pot noble and grab the coin purse on his island. Loot the place clean, making sure to grab the flame barrel and shinobi axe while you're here. Head back to the idol instead of engaging with Shinobi Hunter, and make sure not to get trapped like I did. Head back to the area near the old woman's house and grapple up to the merchant. Use 5 light coin purses to buy the firecrackers. Homeward idol back to the temple and get all 3 of your new toys fitted. Now for the fun stuff. We're almost set to take on the ogre, but first we have to farm up 15 emblems and at least a little bit of money. Head back to the first idol of Ashina Outskirts and farm these 2 guys for emblems. It took me around 30 minutes to get what I needed, and it is absolute misery. Just get ready to be here for a very long time if you get unlucky. Okay, after that misery, I would recommend backing up your save, because you don't want to experience the same pain I felt when I had to go and farm all over again because he just happened to lose me. So the strat for Ogre. This is definitely one of the most annoying fights in the run. So head to these 2 schmucks and ask them a couple questions. If you'd rather jump on their heads for 15 minutes though, that's fine too. Head back up to the idol and do not rest. Just buy your way back up to 15 emblems. No more than you can carry. Do not add any to your stock right now. Engage the ogre and keep him at the bottom of the stairs the whole time. Do not use the oil you picked up from Harada just yet. Flame vent him constantly, and if you run out of emblems, just make sure he's close enough to where he won't lose you when you go back up to the idol to buy more. If he's up the stairs, he has a tendency to just kind of forget you and lock off, making you have to completely restart the fight. Buy back up to 15 emblems every time. When you run out of money, start using coin purses before jumping up to the idol. Save the 2 oil for your last 2 vents to ensure they are not wasted, as it is a guaranteed burn when you use it. Use whatever emblems you have left on Shuriken. You're likely to come up short on emblems for the fight, so just stomp the remainder of his health bar for the kill. Okay, so that is what some would consider the worst part of the run finished. From here, just proceed as you normally would. Grab the gourd seed and make sure to get these snap seeds from the serpent area. Now for the first main boss. Now this is remarkably simple. Just run past him, jump to the tower, and boom, the demon cheese also works on Gyobu. If he breaks the tower, just quit out and homeward idle back to get it to respawn. Things are going smoothly now, so just go and ask these 2 fine gentlemen some questions, do the bull skip, trigger the bull, run back around and make him break this tower, jump back down and wait for him to lose you. Do the bull skip again and head to the right this time. Wait for him to walk into this spot, then just double firecracker him to make him jump up. Throw a shuriken at him before he starts running to make sure he doesn't T-pose when he hits the wall. Go around to where he broke the tower for an entrance into the arena and get that death blow. Things are about to get much simpler. Head to the left from the Ashina Castle idol and into the abandoned dungeon. Go ahead and eavesdrop on these guards on the bridge for a tool later. Keep going, looting all the way to Senpu Temple. Make sure to get the Shugendo idol, as you may get stuck here for a little bit. Make sure you spend your skill points on Makiri counter. This is a must-have for this boss. Head on up to the Armor Warrior. Play keep away as much as you can and bait out the Makiri. If you're really feeling frisky, you can use the axe for posture damage. I recommend only trying it for the final hit though, to make sure he's in a position that's good enough to knock him off the edge. But it can also be used after any animation that leaves him a little winded, but it can be risky as he can go into a new move very quickly. It's mostly smooth sailing from here. Take this shortcut and head for the last idol. From here, go grab the Senpu Arts book, and now we have actual free damage. But how will we get the skill points for it, you may ask? Well, the solution is a bit simpler than you think. I already had enough for the normal praying strikes, but what we're after is praying strikes exorcism, the real juice of the run. Head back to Ashina Castle and proceed through the area. Get up to the antechamber idol while avoiding all the enemies. Make sure to grab the gourd seed along the way too. Rest at the idol and jump out the window, get spotted, grapple back up, and rest again. There's a night jar that gives a decent bit of XP that blows himself up every time he sees you. So just farm that until you have enough for Praying Strike's exorcism. I won't go over everything, but from here just go back to Ashina Outskirts and replay the entire area, killing every enemy and picking up whatever you happen to miss. Make sure to get the generals we skipped earlier. For this run, I didn't do the Headless or the Shichimans, so just don't worry about them at all. Make sure to do Tengu's rat quest while you're at it. Once you've made your way back to the castle, it's time to go into Harada and finish it. So go and do the same thing here. Shinobi Hunter should be a joke if you made sure to pick up Makiri. Just punch him, Makiri his thrusts, and jump his sweeps. Head down the Mistraven area for the real boss of this place. We'll never use the Mistraven, but you gotta catch him all. I'd say stop at the idol before Drunkard for now. He may be a bit too much at this stage. From here, I'd say head back to Ashina Castle and deal with this mini-boss. Same approach as the last two, only lure him away from the gunmen so you can kill them first. Rest back up at the idol and take care of what the guy on the right wants you to do. When you finish his little thing, he'll go back to the dilapidated temple and have another gourd seed available for sale. I didn't do this till a bit later because I just kinda forgot about him, but you can do it now if you choose. From here, head down into the abandoned dungeon and loot all you can, but do not engage the Shichiman warrior. Head on through to Senpu Temple. Kill and loot your way all the way to the idol after Armored Warrior. We're back to Ashina Castle now, because we have to pick up the most important prosthetic of the entire run. If you're wondering why we're going all over the place, it's because it's simply the order I decided to do it in, just to ensure I was prepared. But you're free to go out of order if you wish. Loot the Castle Queen and meet up with Black Hat Badger. Use enough coin purses to buy the Iron Fortress and get this fitted immediately. This is the most important tool of the run. He also has some sugars too, which we may need a couple of for later. Feel free to grab those if you want. From here the hand holding stops. I'll be giving cliff notes and just coming back for certain bosses. Well, hello there. I'm back. Finally, time for Genichiro. This is significantly easier than one might think. Stay aggressive and just keep punching. When you finish your combo, sprint away immediately. Dodging is only going to leave you open to Genny's multi-hitting attacks. If he does his jump attack, sprint away, but make sure to stay in front of him so he does a perilous move for extra posture damage. The only real threat here is just getting clipped on the bow or any of his multi-hit abilities. Phase 3 is honestly not that much different. Makiri the opening thrust and just kinda go right back to what you were doing. But just be very careful to not get hit by his lightning attacks, as they will still hit crazy hard even though we're insanely overleveled for this fight. Only thing to really change is when he does his jumping attack, be ready to umbrella deflect instead of Makiri or jump. If you deflect this attack, it'll always make him do a thrust. Easy stuff.
slowly.
Well, it's been a while. Now, this should be the part where I give a very detailed account on how to beat Ishin, I know. However, as you can see here, I did it without much issue. But you know what's a lot more impressive than when I beat him on normal New Game with no sword? When I did it on New Game plus 5. There's a slight slip up at the end, and I don't win off of it. I make sure to let him recover from it. But I'm just going to let the footage speak for itself on how to no sword Ishin the Sword Saint, even on New Game plus 5.
Yeah, let's get it. Fifth try. Let's get it. Like it was nothing.
And ladies and gents, that is how to no sword Sekiro Shadows Die Twice. A few things I want to go over here now that we're at the end. So, death blows when regular enemies are posture broken. You could debate whether or not it's a rule breaker, but I mean, if I'm doing it to bosses when their posture breaks, I think it's kind of fair game. And now, yet again, I also want to give credit to my inspirations for this. So, this video is very similar to the way Ymfah makes his videos, right? Now, I want to be clear, Ymfah still does this better than I could ever hope to. This is a very bootleg version of it, but I had a lot of fun cobbling it together. I really like Ymfah. He's all the inspirations I'm about to talk about here are some of my favorite creators on the platform, right? Ymfah, I think, makes the best Souls videos. They're just so good. So this is more or less done out of respect for Ymfah. I've always wanted a Sekiro Ymfah video, and it never came, so I figured, well, alright, I guess I better shoulder this burden myself. Another thing is I wanted to have some voice recorded parts similar to how Baron's Castle does his, but as you could tell, I kind of struggle with reading scripts, as I always end up sounding kind of robotic. I usually just have to take notes down and follow those notes when I'm reading my scripts, but I can't do that for something this large, so I had to read a script, and it was really difficult for me, right? I have a few speaking issues, and it definitely shows in the video. But yeah, I'm definitely going to leave Baron's Castle's link in the description below. Same with Ymfah, I don't know if I mentioned that. I'm going to leave both of their channels in the description box below. And lastly, LilAggy, the GOAT. Now, I'm aware I'm not the first to do this run. I just wanted to do what he did, but on a slightly bigger scale. Plus, like I said, I always wanted a Ymfah-style Sekiro video. So, like I said, I figured I would take that concept, just do it on a bigger scale, and make it Ymfah-style. In any case, it's clear I drew a lot of inspiration from Aggy for this video. And I want to make it clear that it's not meant to be copying. I have a ton of respect for Aggy and really wanted to just do it in that style. Aggy is one of my favorite content creators ever. I've rewatched his videos so often. Aggy, if you're somehow seeing this, I want to make it clear I have huge respect for you, man. And you're just one of my favorite creators. I'm going to leave a link to Aggy's channel and his no sword video in the description. Anyways, thank you so much for watching this video. I had a lot of fun editing it, and maybe I'll do more of these in the future. I don't know, it's just such a behemoth undertaking. It just takes absolutely forever, but I definitely might do it in the future. I had fun for what it was worth. This is definitely my magnum opus. I've never done anything on this scale, and it was a great time in both the run and editing. I intend to do a video weekly now, so keep an eye out for that if you're interested. Bloodborne weapon reviews are going to start up. I'm going to live stream more. I'm going to try my hardest to actually be a content creator for a little bit here. But yeah, thank you so much for watching again. But yeah, I'm going to get out of here finally, and just one more time, thanks so much for watching if you made it to the end. My name is Carmen, but I go by Ellism on YouTube, and that's going to do it. Y'all take it easy.